everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Annie. I hope you all are doing good. So in today's video, by the title itself, you would have got to know by now that this video is a haircut plus hair coloring video wherein I experimented by cutting my hair for the first time, and coloring I had already done earlier twice at home, but then chopping the hair and coloring was the first combo ever I tried. I wanted to try it out during the lockdown itself, but the problem was I was not having much guts, because even if I mess it up, like cutting the hair, if I mess it up, the parlors weren't open to go and fix it, right? So I wasn't very sure if I should experiment by cutting it on my own for the first time at home itself. And another problem was, what I felt was, if I really want to go ahead and chop it on my own, then my hair length should be little longer, so that even if I mess it up, there should be little margin left so that I can go to the parlor and get it fixed. So for that reason also, I didn't do it last year. Now finally, since I've done it, so I'm going to just show you how I had done it this time. And I had colored it as well, and I had used Garnier's plum red shade, and Garnier's shade earlier I had used burgundy. So the thing is, what I feel is, it's not like too bright, it's not like too flashy one, it's something more like indoor, it's visible to some extent, and when you go out in sun, it's very much visible, but it's not like very much bright. And if you're someone who is willing to experiment on your own at home, then I would suggest that you should go ahead and start with something dark colors like this, so that even if you mess it up, it doesn't really show up. And once you get hold of it, then you can go for some brighter shades, like the Streaks brand is there, right? So I feel the colors of that are very strong and very vibrant. It shows up very evidently. So if you are willing to go for that one, then I would suggest go for a trial with Garnier. And once you're comfortable, you get hands on your coloring procedure, then you can go ahead and start using the Streak or maybe some other brand which is way too bright. And before we move on to the video, let me tell you that I'm not a professional person who has learned the way how to cut their hair. I just tried it, and if you want to learn it, then I'm not sure how good my video is going to be, but then just go through it, and if it's gonna help you to some extent, then maybe you can just try it, but then at your own risk, okay? So last two times when I had colored my hair at home, I had used burgundy shade of Garnier, and I had colored all my hair, like right from here till here I had colored that point of time. And what I really felt was, the hair does become dry, whether you get it done in parlor or whether you do it at home. The hair color does make your hair dry to some extent. So it was all rough and dry all these days, so I just felt that now onwards I'm not gonna get my whole hair colored. So either I'll just make sure that I color the lower section, or even if I'm getting it done at parlor, I'm just gonna get the streaks done, because when it comes to streaks, so what happens is they'll be just coloring one section of the hair. So if that becomes little dry, it really doesn't matter much, because there will be just few streaks of hair which are gonna be dry, rest of it is gonna be fine. So I just felt that that is one thing which you can keep in mind while coloring your hair. Avoid coloring the whole hair, because you wouldn't want your hair to become too dry after a point. Another thing is, there are a lot of shades which does require you to bleach your hair first and then apply the color, so that the color pops out well. But I am not really comfortable with the idea of bleaching my hair and then applying the color, because I feel that bleaching is gonna make my hair further dry, and I really don't want that jhadu kind of feeling with my hair ends. So I am not sure if I'll ever bleach my hair just so that the color pops out. So I usually prefer dark shades like wine, burgundy, or brown shade, or the plum red which I use this time, so that I really don't have to go for the bleaching option. And whether it's parlor or I do it at home, I avoid using the bleach, and I just get my hair colored directly. And if you also feel that you really don't want to mess up with your hair's quality, then avoid the bleach thing. Just go for darker shades, because that I feel is comparatively safe. So I'm not sure how well the color is showing up on camera, but in person it does show. But anyways, let me just try showing you. So this is my normal natural black hair, and here you will see a little bit brown, which was because earlier I had used burgundy, right? So that faded out and now it has become brown. I hope you can see. Let me just tie my hair, that should help you to know. So yeah, now you can clearly see this is my black hair and this is how the shade looks like, and on camera it's still very subtle, but in person it's very much evident. So there are 5 points which you have to keep in mind before you color your hair. The first point is shampoo your hair a day before. Like on the day when you're coloring, you cannot shampoo your hair after the coloring. You have to just leave it for an hour and then just rinse your hair and apply the conditioner which is given in the coloring kit itself, and that is all you are supposed to do. You are not supposed to use shampoo on the day when you are coloring your hair. So you would want your hair to be clean before you get on to your coloring work, so just make sure that you shampoo a day before. Second point is make sure that you do the patch test before you get on to this coloring work. Why? Because we don't know which particular brand is gonna suit for which skin type, so let's not take any risk. So just do the patch test and check whether you're allergic to the color, and if you're not, then you can go ahead and color your hair. Third point is wear the t-shirt which you don't mind ruining, because the colors are definitely going to spoil the t-shirt which you're wearing. So make sure that you are wearing the t-shirt which is an old t-shirt and you really don't mind if it gets the color on it. Fourth point is don't forget to apply Vaseline. Just cover this part of your face and also the neck so that the color doesn't get transferred on your skin. Fifth point is after you wash your hair, don't forget to just use any dark color towel or just use any old t-shirt of yours, because the color will bleed for next few days, for next few washes, so you wouldn't want to ruin your towel. So just go ahead and use a darker shade towel or just use any old t-shirt of yours. That should be good to go. So this is the length of my hair right now, and before you cut your hair, wear some light color t-shirts so that you can easily see. So this is how rough and dry it is right now. So many split ends are there, so I'm just planning to get it trimmed so that I can get rid of all the rough ends. I'm not planning to shorten it too much. And you can clearly see the hair color difference is black and brown right now. So before you begin, all you need is hair clips and a regular comb. This kind of comb only helps you to cut diagonally in a proper way. Don't go for hairbrush. Just make sure that you have removed all the knots from your hair and just section it in two parts, and just wet your hair because that helps in controlling and managing your hair even better. So I'll just section the front and the back separately, and I'm just gonna clip the hair at the back because I'll be working on it little later. So the front part is what I'm going to begin with, and I was clearly nervous to begin. So yeah, I'm just gonna start trimming the front part, just trying to get rid of the rough ends and also trying to get a diagonal cut so that it looks like a little bit of layers. So this is how it is right now, and the diagonal cut has come, so it will look a little bit like layers or a U kind of haircut. I'm going to do the same for the other side. Now I'll just match whether the left and the right side is similar, and after I match the length of it, I'm just going to do a point cut. Point cut is when you hold your scissor in a vertical way and cut it so that it doesn't look like a sharp straight line. So once the front part is done, I'm just gonna clip it back and I'm going to work on the rest of the hair. And there again, I'm going to match the length with each other, and once that is done, I'm going to put it back. So now the hair which we had clipped initially at the back, that I'm going to bring forward and start cutting that, but this time the diagonal direction is going to be different than what we did for the front hair, because the hair which is at the back in the center has to be long, right? So I have just made sure that the center hair is inwards and the other side hair is outwards. So now the diagonal direction is not going to be the earlier one, it's going to be in opposite direction. I'm not sure if I'm able to put it out right verbally, but I hope you understand. Once it's done, you will anyways get a better idea. So I'm just going to get rid of the rough ends and then I'll work on cutting it in the right diagonal direction. So now you can see that I have cut it in a different diagonal direction. Earlier it was right to left, now it's left to right. So yeah, this is how the back hair has to be cut. And now I'm going to work on the front layers. So I'll just shorten the front part. I'll just change the parting because I usually prefer side parting. So based on that, I'll cut the front layers. So not too much hair I'm gonna cut in the front, just little bit of flicks I need. So I'm going to work on that and I'll make sure that I cut it in layer form. So that is it, the layers are done. Now I'm just going to put a pony and I'm going to cut the sideburns because this looks good when we make a pony or a hair bun. So just hold it tight and make sure both the sides the lengths are matching. So that is it, haircut is done. So this is how it looks. Length has not changed much, but definitely I've got rid of a lot of rough ends. So now I'm gonna get started with hair coloring. For that I would need aluminum foil, plastic vessel, a brush and hair color. So before I color my hair, I've just changed my t-shirt.
So just make sure that you change into something which you don't mind if it gets spoiled, or just wear something dark in color so that the stains don't show up much.
So you would need Vaseline and some hair clips. So Vaseline, make sure you apply on your face and your neck. And just remove the accessories. If you're wearing an earring or something, just remove it. So I'm going to use a plastic container and a plastic spoon to mix the color and apply it on my hair. Instead of plastic, you can also use a glassware, but don't use any metal container because you don't want the colors to get reacted with that. The hair color pack has a colorant and a developer, also a conditioner and hand gloves. So there is also an instruction manual in the box which will help you to know what exactly the steps you should follow before you get on to doing this coloring work. So I've just sectioned my hair. I'm gonna color this part little later, and I'm gonna start with the hair which is at the back.
So it is sealed, and with the help of the cap's top section, I'm just gonna open this.
So just mix the colorant and the developer in a plastic container, mix it well, and the color automatically changes after a few minutes. So this much is the quantity. I use the entire pack. Just wear your gloves, and I also have this hairbrush from the L'Oreal color pack, so you can use a toothbrush instead, not a problem. That you would need to blend the color so that there is no sharp line and there is no clear difference in your actual hair color and the new color. So just make sure that you blend with the brush very well, with the toothbrush or with this kind of brush if you have. I want an ombre kind of effect, so I'm just applying at the lower end. So once both the sides are done, I'm just going to cover it with aluminum foil. No reason as such, it's just that I want it to be sectioned separately and I don't want those hair to come in between when I'm working on the front hair. So just put the hair back and start working on the front hair. So I'll apply on both the sides and then I'll just bring the hair from the back to get a reference of how much length I have to color. Because to get the ombre effect, it should not look very weird on all the sections. So I'll just match the length and color. And once this is done, I'll just cover it with aluminum foil. And I'm just going to leave it in my hair for 1 hour and I'll just rinse off and apply the conditioner and rinse it off again, and that's it. That is it guys, we have come to the end of this video. I really hope you found this video useful, and if you did, then please take a moment to subscribe and also hit the bell icon so that you get notified whenever my next video is up on the channel. I'll see you guys soon in the next video. Until then, take care. Bye.